Well, here we go with another Liberty Report with Brett Mason as a story about Hillary Clinton, who had a meeting with a small round table of people to discuss their concerns, ran full long into a gentleman from the West Virginia coal industry who was none too happy about her statements that she made with some level of glee about how they would be putting coal miners and the coal industry and coal workers out of work. This young man spent some time explaining his job in the business, how many other people he knew in the business, how that he'd, I guess, been downsized out of work. He handed her a picture of his family so she could see who would be affected by her putting coal miners out of work. And then Queen Hillary decided to step in as only she can and explain to him how he just had it all wrong. You just got it all wrong. That's not what I meant. So here's her explanation to that young man about what she really meant about putting coal miners out of work. So here, let's listen to that real quick, shall we?
And it was a misstatement, because what I was saying is that the way things are going now, we will continue to lose jobs. That's what I meant to say, and I think that that seems to be supported by the facts. I did.
Oh, so what she was saying is the way things are going, the economy, I guess, or I don't know. Circumstances beyond her control, though. Because of those things, people are going to be out of job. Not nothing that she's going to proactively do. That's not what she was saying. No, she was saying because of the way things are going, they're going to be out of jobs.
It didn't mean that we were going to do it. What I said was that is going to happen unless we take action to try to help and prevent it.
All right. So her story is coal miners are going to be out of work unless we take action to prevent that from happening. Well, wouldn't you know that we, thanks to the modern age of the internet, and she's got to get away with this. This is the frustrating thing about this. We live in a time where you literally can, within seconds, pull up video, quotes, transcripts of anything anybody ever said, but she can still lie and get away with it. Nevertheless, let's go back to an event she had in Columbus, Ohio, where she made the statement. And let's analyze what she actually did say. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she really did mean that because of the way things are going and the way the environment is, and I guess she was talking about the economy or whatever, that's putting coal mine. Not that she's going to proactively do it, because she says we gotta save these jobs. Is what she's told that guy. So let's see what she said, shall we?
Well, I'm the only candidate which has a policy about how to bring economic opportunity using clean, renewable energy as the key into coal country.
So you want to bring something else into coal country, not coal. I think that would mean that coal miners would lose their jobs because of something you did, but I'm willing to continue listening. I'm willing to continue to give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what she says as we go forward.
Because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business. Right, Tim? And we're going to make it.
She looks at some guy named Tim and smiles. It's like, we're gonna put a lot of people out of business, aren't we, Tim? You dang right we are. Oh, no, she's saying she was going to do it. Lying heifer. Let's see what else she has to say, shall we?
Clear that we don't want to forget those people. Those people labored in those mines for generations, losing their health, often losing their lives to turn on our lights and power our factories. Now,
well, she did at least give them credit for all the years of service that people really did do some of the worst, hardest, most dangerous, unhealthy jobs on the planet so that people could have electricity and live in relative comfort. So kudos to her for giving credit for doing that. But that doesn't take away from the fact that she said with some level of glee that she had a plan that was going to bring clean energy to the state, and she was going to put a lot of people out of work. Right, Tim? Tim, isn't that what we're going to do, Tim?
now we've got to move away from coal and all the other fossil fuels.
See, we got to move away from coal and the other fossil fuels. But no, I didn't say I was going to put you out of work. Not that I was actively going to do it. That's not what I meant. What I meant was because of the environment, you're going to be without a job. You're lying, You're just a lying piece of crap, Hillary Clinton. Come on.
But I don't want to move away from the people who did the best they could to produce the energy that we relied on.
So what she's saying is, oh, we're going to put you out of work. And this is what she actually said. We're going to put you out of work. We're going to bring in clean energy. Away with the coal, fossil fuels, no more. You're going to be out of work. But what I'm going to try to do is help you get new jobs. So I'm going to put you out of work. And then we're going to try to come up with some kind of plan to get you a new job. That's what she's saying. That's what she meant. And that's what she said. Right, Tim? Oh, Tim's over here. Sorry. Right, Tim? We're going to put him out of work, aren't we, Tim? God. And she's going to get away with it because in today's world, it's not what you've said before. And Donald Trump is a perfect example of this. Do you realize how many horrible things he said back in the fall and winter of 2015? Like things nobody even thinks of. He said some of the most horrendous things anybody's ever heard. Nobody even thinks of that anymore because it's the new thing. It's whatever you say today. That's all people today have the memory and the time span, the attention span of a gnat. And it's what you say now. So Hillary goes on this show, and what she says now is, oh, that's not what I meant. I was taken out of context. What I said is it's due to certain situations, due to the current circumstances, we'll be putting a lot of, not that I would be putting you out of a job, the circumstances we're in today would put you out of a job. And I want to prevent that. When that's not what she said at all. But because that's what she said today, what she said back in Columbus, Ohio, at this town hall is going to be completely forgotten because we have the attention span of a gnat. And that's the country we live in. And as I discussed with somebody earlier today, the country gets exactly what it deserves. At some point, we can blame it on politicians, or if you're part of the Bernie Sanders liberal whack job crowd, we can blame it on big businesses doing it. You can blame it on whoever you want, but what it ultimately boils down to is we're the problem. The people are the problem because we believe any line of horse crap somebody shoves at you, and we forget the horse crap from a week ago, 5 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 5 months ago, last year, or in Hillary's case, going all the way back to the 90s. Every horrible, atrocious thing this woman has ever done. I mean, and in that regard, she's kind of like Trump. It's kind of an interesting strategy if you think about it. You keep doing so many things that the other things you do get forgotten. You do so many horrendous, horrible things that the old things, they just get buried by the new things. And so you're only ever really kind of guilty of whatever your most recent thing is. Because you're constantly burying the old things you've done. That's what Trump has done. It's worked really well for him. He just, there for a while, it was a new scandal with him every 3 days. Well, we all have the attention span of gnats or goldfish or something. So, whatever he did a few months back, nobody remembers that. It's what he did a few days ago. And we're covering that, or while we're still debating it or trying to figure it out or seeing if that's what he really meant or what he really said. About the time we try to get some kind of grasp on it so we can definitively go, yes, this guy is crazy and he's psychotic and he's authoritarian and he's racist and he's a bigot and he's a whatever. About the time you can get your head wrapped around it, he comes out with a new thing you have to start analyzing. And so the old thing gets shuffled to the background. Hillary Clinton the same way, whether it be Travelgate, whether it be Vince Foster, whether it be Whitewater, whether it be all the many women back in Arkansas, we could just go on and on, whether it be emails, whether it be Benghazi. It's just a new thing. When you pile on a new thing, the old thing goes away. And so you really only ever have one thing to deal with. It's pretty nice if you're a politician. You don't have to deal with the preponderance of the evidence. You don't have to deal with a lifetime of comments, actions, policies, and things like that. You only just have to deal with the most recent thing. Whatever you said today is all you got to deal with. And it's so bizarre because we live in a time where you literally have the ability to pull up almost anything anybody's ever said ever and go see for yourself. Like you can go, 20 years ago you couldn't do that. Whatever CBS or NBC told you on TV tonight was about the maximum of what you could pull up. or you either had to remember it. You had to, from memory, recall what happened 10 years ago. We don't live in those times anymore. Everything from the last, however long ever is at your fingertips. You don't even have to type it. You can just ask Siri to look it up for you, or Cortana, or whatever. And yet, with all this abundance of information and ease of accessibility, we live in the most dumbed down, idiotic, short attention span. I don't care what happened 18 minutes ago. I only care what happened 6 minutes ago generation. That is an embarrassment to the human race. And we've brought all this on ourselves. Everything that's happening to this country, to the world, to our neighborhoods, to our communities, we're the ones that done it. We can keep blaming it on politicians, but ultimately the buck stops here. It stops with me, and it stops with you. And I guess that's all I got to say about that. Liberty, my friends, no matter what other issues you get involved with, please stand up for the maximum amount of freedom and the maximum amount of liberty. Let everything else fall where it may.